Nationally syndicated radio host Dana Loesch is here. All right, so how are the Democrats handling these strikes and this quick ceasefire?
Jesse, it's pretty unbelievable because they're all over the map on this. I mean, I remember going all the way back to like the Green Revolution and going back to Egypt and Libya. Democrats loved unilateral action. They loved unilateral action in Libya, going after Gaddafi and trying to reinstitute a bunch of Clinton stooges in order to nation build. They loved getting involved in Egyptian elections and backing the Muslim Brotherhood, as Hillary Clinton did, a banned entity in Egypt before then. They loved getting involved in Honduran elections and trying to back different leaders in Honduras. I mean, we could go on and on. I don't know if there's ever been a moment in my life where Democrats haven't loved unilateral action and nation building. And to just the cherry on top of all of this, everybody remembers the entire reason we are in this position in the first place is because of Jimmy Carter and Democrats back in the 70s when they decided to get rid of the Shah and they installed the Mullah regime. That's exactly why we're in this position. Democrats own it. So you would think that they would be celebrating that their legacy has come full circle, but they haven't yet. And as far as the argument on whether or not the office of the executive has unilateral action, I've made my position very clear on my radio program, Jesse. I think war is a last resort. I'm not an interventionist, but I'm not a neocon. However, I would like to direct people to reread, if they haven't, or read James Madison in the Federalist Papers, because it's all brilliantly lined out. And it's in these things, Jesse, for progressives to read called books.
You can have a noble objection to these strikes.
Sure.
There was people on the right who had it. There's people on the left that have it. And that's fine. And that's good. I mean, not everyone's going to agree on everything. But to say that, that Trump should have asked your permission if you're Jasmine Crockett, I mean, what? I mean, I thought this was a secret aerial campaign. He's just supposed to announce to the world, Jasmine, can I please have your permission to do this? And that doesn't make any sense.
I get the objections from some of those coming on the right because they're genuine objections that come from a place of genuine concern. Just to remind everybody, we've grown up. I mean, Jesse, you and I have grown up our entire lives with military campaigns that had mission creep. The objectives were changing. It turned into these long, protracted conflicts, and then, multiple generations that were involved in it. I had multiple generations in my family that were in Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, that's like wild that would even be considered commonplace in our culture. But we kind of got off base in terms of how we prosecute conflict. So to see a one and done, or to see a politician, an elected official say, we're going to get in, we're going to do this, and we're going to get out, we're not used to that yet. So I give a lot of grace to a lot of my friends on the right who aren't all on the same page with this. That being said, I think you could look back at POTUS's first term and see that everything that he engaged in militarily, we didn't get involved in any kind of long-term committed conflict. It wasn't mission creep. What he said, we went in and we did, and then we came back out with like the most limited loss of resource and even loss of human life. And that's how it should be. So I think we're still on the right kind of acclimating to this. However, I will add, on the left, there has never been any consistency. There has never been any proper follow through. There's never been any clear communication with the American people about any of their objectives, which again is why we're in this position in the first place. So I think it's good to have a healthy dose of caution. And I like what Congressman Thomas Massie, who I know, I think, he's genuinely a kind-hearted person who comes at it from a very strictly constitutionalist angle. And thank God we have people like that holding down that spectrum in Congress. I think that we can all agree that it's better to have some of those folks in Congress than not. But to see where this goes, we have to make sure that, the intelligence is accurate. That's all we've been acting on. I think that the president has demonstrated in previous military conflicts and engagements that he deserves the grace and the benefit of the doubt on this. I haven't always agreed with him on everything, but I'm willing to do that with this.
Yeah, he's earned the trust of the American people, especially what he's gone through during the last term, and especially that last campaign where he almost died. Dana Loesch, great to see you. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.